Alright, so this is the review for the quiz on Monday. And so here we go. So a factory produces 60 candy bars in 5 minutes. If the factory continues producing at the same rate, how many candy bars does it produce in 10 minutes, 1 minute, 7 minutes? And how many minutes does it take to produce 36 candy bars? Complete the table below to answer the questions above. So, all the information we need is here. So to work it out, it's, well, what do we do to 5 to get to 10? Well, the answer there is we multiply by 2. So we multiply by 2. 60 times 2 is 120, and so that's 120. Well, then we can either go and from the 5 or the 10 and say, well, what do we do to get to 1? Personally, I'm going to go from the 10 to the 1, and that's divide by 10. Now, the reason I'm doing that is because when we divide by 10, we just move the decimal over one spot or drop the 0. So 120 divided by 10 is 12. So 120 divided by 10, the decimal's here, we just move it over. And so now the decimal goes there, and so it's 12. Now we could have done divide by 5 and said 60 divided by 5. Well, 5 goes into 6 one time. Bring down the 0. 5 goes into 10 2 times. And we got 12 that way. So it doesn't matter which one we used, we would have gotten to the same place. So it's just a matter of, what you feel more comfortable with. Well, from here, to get from 1 to 7, we multiply by 6. So we multiply by 6. Well, 12 times 6. 6 times 2 is 12, carry 1. 6 plus 1 is 7, and so it's 72. And then 36, well, trying to figure that out, that's kind of simple as well. Because again, I'm going to look at it and go, well, what do I do to 12 to get to 36? Well, I multiplied by 3. And if you're not sure, 36 divided by 12. Well, 3 times 1 is 3, so 3 times 12. And so I multiply by 3. And so my answers are 120, 12, 72, and 3. And next, I've got Wyatt hiked 6 miles in 2 hours. At this same rate, what is the total number of miles Wyatt could hike in 10 hours? Well, they did 6 in 2. Well, I'm going to erase real quick, and I'm going to set it up like it's a table. So miles, hours, we did 6 in 2. We want to know how many they'll do in 10. Well, to get from there to there, I multiplied by 5. So times 5. Well, 6 times 5 is 30, so 30. Okay. Now, 3 doesn't make any sense because there isn't a 3 anywhere in here. The only way to get a 3 is 6 divided by 2, but that makes no sense because you're not going to do less miles that if you walk longer. Okay. 8, again, that's 2 plus 6 or 10 minus 2, but you're not going to walk only 2 more miles when you walk 8 more hours. And 15, there is no way to put any of these numbers together to get 15. Okay, so it doesn't make any sense to be 15. Excuse me, sorry for the cough. Okay. So, a little bit of common sense goes a long way. All right, let's take a look at question 3. To clean a tank, 3/4 cup of disinfectant is needed for every 2 gallons of water. How many cups of disinfectant are needed for 20 gallons of water? Use the table below to help you solve. Okay, so we want to get from 2 to 20. So we don't necessarily have to use every blank. Okay, that's not an absolute guarantee, 100% necessary thing to do. Okay, and I know a lot of you don't like fractions, but they are really not that bad. Okay, so we've got 3/4. If you want to get rid of that fraction, multiply by 4. So multiply by 4 and you get to 8. And so this times 4, well, that's just 4/1. So that's 3 times 4 is 12, 4 times 1 is 4, and it's 12 divided by 4 is 3. Well, so now you're there. Now, we want to get to 20. So, multiply by 2. We're at 16. Oh, so this was times 4. So, times 2. Now we're at 6. So what we need now is 4 more. So what I personally would do is multiply by 2. Okay, and so I would get my 4. And so times 2. So that's 3/4 times 2/1. Well, 3 times 2 is 6. 4 times 1 is 4. Well, 4 goes into 6 one time with 2 left over. See how we have fractions here? So that means it's 1 2/4. Well, 2/4 is 1/2. Well, 16 plus 4 is 20. 6 and 1 is 7, plus the 1/2 is 7.5. So it's A. Now, again, that's not the only way we could have done this. We could have sat there and let's do some erasing as I'm already erasing. And we could have said, well, 2 times 10. So, times 10. And so that's 3 over 4 times 10 over 1. Well, 3 times 10 is 30. 4 times 1 is 4. Well, I see a 30, but it's being divided by 4. So that's clearly not my answer. 4 goes into 30. Well, 4 doesn't go into 3. So it's clearly not going to be a 2-digit number. Well, that leaves 7.5. So 7 times 4 is 28. With 2 left over. So that's 7 2/4. Or 7 1/2. Okay, 2 different approaches. Both are absolutely valid. So no right answer, no wrong answer to how to approach this problem. It is your choice, and you can do it how you want. Okay, for question 4. A group of students organized a car wash to raise money for a local charity. The students charged $5 for each car they washed. In 3 hours, they washed 12 cars. At this rate, how much money could they earn from washing cars for 8 hours? So, again, I prefer tables. So, and I'm going to say time and cars. So 3 hours, 12 cars. Well, after 3 hours, I'm going to divide by 3 and get 1. And so I divide by 3 and I get 4. So that means they were washing 4 cars every hour. Well, it wants to know for 8 hours. So 8 hours. So that's times 8. So times 8. Well, 8 times 4 is 32. Now, we're not done because that's 32 cars. Well, 32 is not an answer choice. It's $5 for each car. So we multiply by 5. 5 times 2 is 10. Carry 1. 5 times 3 is 15. And 1 is 16. So that's $160. Okay. Tina is ordering pizzas for a party. Pete's Pizza is offering a special of 4 pizzas for $26. Pizza Palace is selling 10 pizzas for $75. If Tina needs to order 40 pizzas, should she order 10 orders of the 4 pizza deal or 4 orders of the 10 pizza deal? Well, couple it, and then we have to explain our reasoning. So, a couple of different approaches. So we can do 26 divided by 4 and get 6. 2 left over. 0, bring it down. 4 goes into 20 5 times. And so the 4 for 26 is $6.50 per pizza. The 10 for 75 well, that's 10 into 75. Well, it doesn't go into 7, but it goes into 75 7 times. Put the decimal, bring down the 0, goes into 50 5 times with nothing left over. And that's $7.50 per pizza. And so, well, that's cheaper for the Pete's Pizza. And our reasoning would be not you, since it's Tina. Tina pays $1 less per pizza at Pete's Pizza. Now, the other way to do this would be to say, well, if Tina needs 40 pizzas, she should order 10 of the 4 pizzas. Well, 26 times 10 is 260. 75 times 4. Well, that's 0, carry 2. 28 and 2 is 30. So, $260, $300. And this would be Pete's. And this would be Pete's Pizza. Sounds like a Little Caesars slogan. And this would be Pizza Palace. And so the reasoning would be Tina would pay $40 more for Pizza Palace than Pete's Pizza. Or you could say she would pay $40 less at Pete's Pizza than Pizza Palace. I mean, either way, it's the same thing. So, 2 different approaches, same result. Okay, and for the last question, John ran 3 miles in 24 minutes. Lynn ran 5 miles in 35 minutes. At what rate did they each run? So in other words, how many miles per minute? So we're looking for the unit rate. So that would be 3 divided by 24. Well, 24 doesn't go into 3, but it does go into 30 one time. We have 6 left over, so we add a 0, bring it down. It goes into 60 2 times, and that's 48. We have 12 left over. Another 0 goes into 120 5 times. And so John ran 0.125 miles per minute. Okay. And so we can also just do something as simple as 24 divided by 3. And I prefer this one, but 24 divided by 3 is 8. And so we can say 8 minutes per mile. And so for Lynn, same idea. So let's pick a color for Lynn. Let's go with that one. And so that would be 5 divided by 35, well, 0.0. Goes into there once with 15. And so, let's see, 4 times 0, 12, so 140. Two times, and so 0.142 miles per minute. Or again, you can do the much simpler 35 divided by 5 and get 7. And say 7 minutes per mile. Okay. So these are absolutely acceptable and fine. And just because I prefer the other way, because that's how we normally say things, doesn't mean you have to do it that way. Do it the simple way. Get it right. Good luck, take your time, and have a good weekend.